Hello friends, welcome back to the channel. The Shiny Ting Lu Tera Raid event is now live in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. In today's video, we're going to cover two more additional builds to help solo this very easily in game. The Shiny Ting Lu Tera Raid event kicked off on the 18th of August and runs through until the 31st of August. So we've still got about a week left of this event. And with the target of 1 million Ting Lu Tera Raids needing to be hit for the Shiny Mystery Gift to be distributed, it's important, if you can, to jump in and try and take at least one of these down to add up those numbers. In case you missed it, both the Wo-Chen and the Chen Pao Shiny Tera Raid events did exceed 1 million defeated, so their respected mystery gifts are now available to pick up in game. You don't need a code for either of these mystery gifts in your copy of Scarlet or Violet, so you can head into your mystery gift option and get via the internet to pick these two shiny legendaries up in game right now. So the builds that we're featuring in today's video are going to start off with Appletun available in the base game, so regardless of the copy of Scarlet or Violet you have, going to be easily accessible in these games. Going to be a grass Tera typing. Held item is the Covert Cloak. That helps you avoid the Snarl special attack drops. And the Appletun is going to be level 100 and hyper trained. The moveset here is going to be Sunny Day, Growth, Giga Drain, and Apple Acid. And the EV spread is pretty straightforward, 252 EVs in special attack and in defense, with the remaining EVs put into HP with a modest nature. The ability here doesn't factor in this raid too much, so we've got Thick Fight. You can go with anything on the Appletun, but this is what it should look like when it's built in game, and as always the build will be down in the description below. Another one that was suggested by the comment section in the previous video is Serperior. If you've got access to the DLCs, or you can port one in from Pokemon Home, this Pokemon is going to be an incredible way to run through this raid. Grass Tera typing, Shell Bell as the held item, level 100, and of course hyper trained as well. Moveset here is going to be Protect, Gastro Acid, Giga Drain, and Leaf Storm, and the EV spread is going to be 252 EVs in special attack and in defense, modest nature, the remaining EVs put into HP. And the ability here is quite important. It is that Contrary ability, so make sure it has that. It should look like this once it's training game. We'll jump into the first raid now with Appletun. I'll show you how easy this one can be. So when you first come in against the Shiny Ting Lu, the first thing it's going to do before the raid begins is it will fire off a Ruination onto any one of the 4 targets on our side of the field. Normally this will be into one of our partnering Pokemon. If it is into us, then that's something we don't really need to worry about too much, other than going for a Giga Drain further down the line we might otherwise not have to do. Goes into the Taurus here, so we'll open the raid as always with an Apple Acid. The nice thing about this attack is that it does decrease the special defense on the Ting Lu by 1 stage every time you use it, and even after the shield goes up, which is pretty early on in this raid, about 85% of its HP remaining or the raid timer, then the Apple Acid will still work, have full effect, and reduce that special defense going forward. So early on in this raid, we're just chasing down our Terastallization here. So we're going to continue to use these Apple Acids, and there we go. There is the shield set up on the Ting Lu, but not really going to make too much difference to us other than the damage output before we can Terastallize. So we'll continue. Turn 3, go for another Apple Acid. And the nice thing about the Covert Cloak on this Appletun is if we do see the Ting Lu go for a Snarl, like it is here, then we're not affected by that special attack drop. Now, it will nullify stats and abilities on our side of the field, but we're not really affected by that too much. So we're just going to continue going for these Apple Acids. Terastallize as soon as you can, because that will increase the damage output that we can do in this raid and just speed it up, because it will only reset its stat drops once throughout this raid, and that'll be about 60% of its HP remaining. We'll have to go for those drops once again after that stage. And you do have the possibility to set up a Sunny Day, go for those growths to increase our special attack if we want, but we don't necessarily need to lean into that too much in the raid. If your HP is getting lower at any stage during the raid as well, then just revert, go for that Giga Drain, get that health back. That'll be really useful throughout the raid. But otherwise, we're pretty much throughout this one just going to be clicking Apple Acid, reducing the special defense, weakening that Ting Lu as we go forward. And you can see how quickly we're getting through the raid. It's not quite that 60%. There we go. Negative effects are removed from itself. It's going to fire off another Snarl. So those drops that we've done so far are going to be removed, but we can continually just go for those Apple Acids, and it's a really easy strategy with Appletun. No real danger of getting knocked out. regardless if you've got an Intimidate user on your side of the field, regardless if you've got something like a Drifblim that can burn the Ting Lu, you are going to be able to tank these attacks from the Ting Lu pretty easily throughout and kind of just spam Apple Acid for the most part. The Giga Drain, the Sunny Day, the Growth are just there as other options if you want to go for them. That's the second time it's going to remove the stat boosts on our side of the field, but since we're not really relying on those too much, we don't need to pay too much attention to it. We'll go for that second Ruination on 50% of the raid timer, so we're hitting that mark just now. We can go for a Giga Drain just to get some health back. -2, so we should be able to almost pick up the knockout there. So one more hit, and you can see how quick it is to run through with Appletun. Likelihood is as well, Appletun going to be one of those Pokemon that you've already got trained from previous raids if you've done any of the 7-star raids in the past, and it is just a nice, straightforward, easy way to run through it, where if you've already got one built in game, you don't have to put anything else together, and you're going to be able to get these Ting Lu defeat very easily over the next week when this event is still running, so we can try and hit that 1 million. And on top of that, you're going to get some really strong item drops. You're going to get the Herba Mystica potential drops here, the ability capsules, the ability patches, and all of the other high cost items that come with it. So again, at the start of the raid, we'll see the Ruination into any one of the 4 targets on our side of the field. Like I mentioned in the previous one, if the Ruination's into us, it just means a little bit quicker down the line. We're going to have to use that Giga Drain, but we're going to normally start the raid off with a Gastro Acid, and that's going to nullify the Vessel of Ruin ability on this Ting Lu, meaning that our special attacks are going to do a lot more as we get deeper into the raid. So that's really nice. Turn 2, we're just going to lock in with the Leaf Storm. Pretty much this is going to be the strategy throughout. Every time we use the Leaf Storm, a lot like the Lurantis that we've already featured on the channel, it will boost our special attack by 2 stages rather than drop it. And any Snarls on top of that are going to make us even stronger. Of course, the raid script, if we do pay attention to that, it is going to set the shield up around that 85% of the raid timer or its HP. So we'll see that set up pretty early, but we're +3 already in this raid, and we're sitting pretty nice with the Shell Bell as well as the held item. It's going to mean that we're getting that easy recovery each and every turn. So there's not that reliance on Giga Drain like we have with some of the other raids builds that we've done or covered here on the channel. So we're going to continually just chase down our terrestrialization counter. We will have our stats nullified here, and after that turn we can go for a Giga Drain or we can go for a Protect. You don't want to go for a Leaf Storm here. It's always worth just going for a Giga Drain in these scenarios just to tick down our terrestrialization counter, get some health back. But we don't want to be Leaf Storming after that notification comes up, because it will drop our special attack rather than boost it, because the contrary will not be active. So just keep that in mind when you see it nullifying stats and abilities on our side of the field. The turn after that's finished, then we're free to go for those Leaf Storms again, but we should be in that spot where we can terrestrialize, and the raid timer in a very healthy position here, so we're not in any danger of running out of time in this raid. Ting Lu, definitely the easier of these shiny Treasures of Ruin Terra raids that we've had, but this one's really nice, and I think a lot of the builds that were featured on the channel pretty easy to pilot as well. There's not really too much thinking, especially with these contrary Pokemon. The basic premise is just looking out for those notifications. Outside of that, we're just spamming the Leaf Storm. When those notifications pop up, you go for the Giga Drain, and you should be fine, really. So we're +2 now. We kind of want to see more of those Snarls to get those special attack boosts, which are going to help us. But this next Leaf Storm can put us to +4. The shield will break just above the point where it is going to nullify our stats and abilities. So we might be in a position where we can potentially pick up a knockout this next turn once the shield broke. It's going to be very close. But you can see the raid timer in a very healthy spot right now. I do feel like the Appletun out of everything is probably the fastest, and the fact that it's available in the base games, probably that and Lurantis make it a little bit more appealing than maybe the Serperior that is only available in the DLCs, or if you've got a way to access this from home. But otherwise, I think a very solid option. And there's, I think, nice having the variety of these 3 Pokemon. So if you are doing these raids over the next week, you're going to have a good mix of Pokemon you can kind of jump in and do this raid with. But you can see how easy it is. Probably not as fast, like I say, as the other two alternative builds that we've featured here on the channel, but still a solid option nonetheless. And if you're a big Serperior fan, like I am, then it gives you a good reason to use this Pokemon. The Gastro Acid definitely helps at the start of the raid. And if you get more snarls than we have throughout your run with Serperior, it is going to speed things up dramatically. So that is something to think about. But again, a good, solid option. Probably not my top pick, but I would say Appletun's probably up there as the best one with that Covert Cloak. Then Lurantis, and in a close third place is Serperior. But there's a nice number of options for you to use when the Ting Lu event is running. Just remember, if you can, jump in, do 1, do 2 raids. It is going to help out to get that million beat by the end of this event. But if you want to respawn it on your map after you've defeated, then come into your home menu, come into your system settings, down into system, down into date and time. Make sure you synchronize clock via the internet's off. Click in your date and time, toggle through these options, hit that OK button, and then hit home, back into the game. All your dens will respawn. You'll see the den will reappear on your map, and you can kind of rinse and repeat. If you found the builds in today's video helpful, please consider dropping a like on the video. And if you've got your own builds, definitely share them down in the comment section below. This is part 3 in the 4-part Shiny Treasures of Ruin Tera raid series. And the next one in the series is, of course, Chi-Yu, which has probably got one of the best shinies of all the Shiny Treasures of Ruin legendaries. Really looking forward to that one. Of course, if you don't want to miss any of the updates, any of the best builds when that event goes live, or hopefully when that shiny mystery gift drops, then hit the subscribe button, turn on notifications so you don't miss any of those videos when they go live. Thanks for tuning in, friends. Have a great rest of your day, and I will see you all in another video very soon. So until then, take care and bye-bye.